Let's take a look back and see how cider's been made over the years. Before we can collect the apple juice, first we have to squash the fruit. Ah, here's Donkey to push the big stone wheel around, crushing all the apples and turning it into a pulp. Now, to prepare the press, first the heavy beam has to be hoisted up. Looks like a job for Dad. The cheese can now be built. Apple pulp is sandwiched between layers of straw. The straw acts as a filter for the juice. Did you know this Cornish bean press is over 500 years old? Oh, look at all that lovely juice. Now, this scratcher mill, it was a new way of crushing the apples, and it was great because you didn't need a donkey. Here's Dad to show us how it worked. No juice. What's going on? Better take a look upstairs. Aha, that explains it. The boys above are meant to be pushing the apples into the hopper. Good, that's much better, boys. Turning the cogs grinds the teeth inside, crushing the apples into a pulp, ready for pressing. Double pressing power. Wake up, Dad. You were going to tell us a story about cider making long ago. Over the years, the wooden base of the press bed, called the shooter, would crack and split. This was a disaster, as all the lovely juice would leak out, and not much cider could be made. Until one day, a cider maker from Devon had the bright idea to line the shooter with a metal called lead. It worked perfectly, and no more juice escaped. It even gave the cider a lovely sweet flavor. This made the villagers very happy, as there was plenty to go around. But children, as the cider maker rode on to the next town, a terrible illness swept through the village. The lead had poisoned everyone. Don't worry, we don't do it that way these days. So, we've already learned how the old cider masters used to make their apple juice by squashing the fruit and layering the pulp into the straw cheese on the press bed. What we haven't learned is how they turned that lovely juice into cider. After 2 full days of pressing, the fresh apple juice is ready for the next step. If left long enough, this would happen naturally through a process called fermentation. This is when the natural yeast in the air reacts with the sugar in juice, making it ferment and turn into cider. However, the old cider makers weren't known for their patience and would try creative ways to speed up the process. One way was to chuck in a big old leg of mutton. That really got it popping and fizzing. Up until the Victorian ages, cider had only really been produced by farmers for their family, workers, and the local village. But this all changed with the birth of the Industrial Revolution. During the 1800s, factories were springing up all over the place, paving the way for cider makers to produce even more cider. New inventions, such as this geared press, which could be wound down much more quickly and tightly, and reusable horsehair cloths, made production far more efficient. This meant that cider could now be sold far and wide, turning it into a big business. The boys don't look too pleased with the increased workload. Come on, boys, keep up. We got cider to sell.